The whole
All
team
right,
should just
welcome
stay
to
here all week.
AfterShocks post-game. As always, if there's anybody not up here that you'd like to talk to, we can accommodate you out the hallway afterward. We'll get Coach Bush open things up with a statement and then turn things over to you guys for questions. Those of you following along on Zoom, if you have questions, use the raise hand feature. Jake will call on you.
Feel like I just keep repeating myself each night when we come in here. Defensive toughness, rebounding. There's no way we should, before I put my foot in my mouth, let me see here. Total rebounds, 30 ALS. I mean, we out-rebound that team by 5. Unbelievable heart, effort, and that's what this program's been built on for the last 10-plus years. These guys just fight. They don't say die. They find a way. They continue to find a way. And this dude just big shot after big shot after big shot in the Elam all week. So much fun. Don't want the ride to end.
I mean, he wants to try and put that in words, but 2 guys around the court. I mean, Conner, that last shot, make the pass there. I mean, just like the energy in there was just insane. Just kind of break that down, especially coming out of the pandemic. I mean, it's like that, right?
Yeah, it was extremely exciting once again. I think there were quite a few more fans than even on when did we play Sunday? On Sunday, whenever we played last. And so it was super loud in there. I have to give all the credit to Tyrus. He drove at the end, and I was open. He made a great pass, and I was able to knock that shot down.
We talked about last game, that was, the craziest 5 seconds of your life, maybe the happiest you've ever been. Tonight, just top it.
It's close. I was pretty excited tonight as well. I was pretty tired tonight, the entire game. I haven't played 3 games in 6 days for a while, so my body was kind of not used to that. But like I said, all the credit to the guys on the team.
What's that feeling like? You're running around the court, you got the 3 goggles going. What was that feeling like?
I don't really know why I did that. I couldn't really tell you. I was just super excited, and that's exactly what happened. So it's fine.
You did it in 2019 too, didn't you?
I did do it in 2019.
Yeah, it's a TBT tradition.
I think it is.
Is that when they beat us?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you took a seat on the bench after that. Was that just kind of take me through that moment? Was that just kind of when it just what's going through your head there?
I was exhausted for some reason. I think I was so tired from sprinting as fast as I could after I made that shot. But just kind of all the emotions kind of set in from the crowd being so good, and I just kind of wanted to sit down and kind of take it all in.
Zach, you talked, you didn't ever think that Toledo could have a night like he had the first 2 nights. Obviously tonight he's feeling himself. Kind of promised that to us. How great is that for you, just kind of seeing that emotion, and how big was that lift in the first half?
I think it was great for us as a staff because everybody's wondering what we're doing as a staff, why this kid's on the team. But no, we never lost faith in David. We knew, if you follow his career, what he's done, he's a shot maker. And the dude's coming off injury. This is the first live basketball he's played since being hurt. So, that combined with playing in front of fans, getting your wind, all those things, it's tough. But knew at some point it was going to fall. He just gave us such a spark off the bench, making shots. You have to make shots in this. You can't just, all game continue to miss threes and come out with a win. And so when he starts getting confidence, all it takes for a shooter typically is to see one go in. So he saw one go down, and the rest is history.
For Conner to be the one that made that shot, I mean, that's just storybook stuff, right?
Absolutely. He's he's the guy late in the game. We talk about what do we want to go to. It's just the game plan is get the ball in his hands. He's going to make something happen. And we surround him, with such great players. Tyrus is such a pro, the way he handles himself off the court, on the court. And these guys have such high IQ and respect for Conner's game that they're going to find him. They're going to make the right play. And, right before that, Zach Brown had a great look. I thought it was down, but the guys kept continuing to fight. And like you said, it's just fitting that it would be Conner. It's Conner every time in this. And he deserves it so much. All the hardship he went through of, going to Kansas and not making it. And that's hard for a Kansas kid. Have people tell you, you weren't quite good enough. But to do the things he's done here and now professionally, he's hungry. People doubt him, and he just keeps proving them wrong.
And I want to say something about Conner as well. A lot of people don't know. In his professional career, he started at a very low level, and I want to give him all the credit from starting at a low level, going to the EuroLeague. He's going to Zenit next year. It's a big-time basketball program, and you deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You had options on that fast break. What's going through your mind when you're leading it? The game's on the line. How do you make that decision?
I'm just here to win. I just know how to play the game of basketball from my experience being in Europe for the past 8 years. I just see a lot of young guys who has a lot of energy. So I'm just out here just trying to fill in the space.
And did you see Conner out because you kind of threw it behind you too. So did you see him in the corner of your eye, or take me through that decision?
Well, I mean, Conner's been playing professional. It's when you have a lot of professional guys on the court, it makes a lot of things easier because situations like that, they know where to be in the right time.
And as an outsider, what's that scene like? Just the pandemonium that goes on after. I mean, you experienced in 2019 from the opposite side. What's it like to be a part of this?
It feels very good. I feel like home here. I got to know everybody. Zach and them accepted me, and everybody's good players and good guys as well.
For all you guys going to be rebounding after tonight was so big, just boxing out of the squad, doing obviously they had the height advantage, but you guys really handled that. Was that something you guys was the point of emphasis going into this one? And how'd you kind of keep that going throughout the game?
Yeah, absolutely. All week, we've talked about how important rebounding was going to be with Daryl being unable to play. We knew we were going to have to be super tough, and it was on the game keys on the whiteboard pregame. Each game, we knew our guards were going to have to be tough. Guys were going to have to hit a body, and credit these guards. It wasn't just our bigs. Our bigs were unbelievable, and our wings, Zach, Marcus, but Conner, Tyrus, Clevin, Samaje, like they went down there and battled, took boards away that shouldn't have been theirs. And that just speaks so much to this program, and it just continues to flow out of it. The toughness, the never say die. And these guys just buy in and compete. It makes it so much fun to be a part of this.
You mentioned Zach too, just how big. I thought on defense, I mean, he was clamps, especially I think the last 2 or 3 possessions. Just talk about what makes him so tough and how clutch that was. You guys might not even get another chance if it's.
Who's that?
Zach Brown.
The guy wasn't able to be here all week because he got a chance to work out for the week with the Rockets, and we were excited for him. And then he comes in and plays the way he does. It was just so cool. He's a guy that he doesn't need any of the credit, but he deserves all of it. And he's never gonna, go out and ask for it and look at me or I need more shots. He's not that kind of guy. And he just digs in and gets the dirty work done. And I think in this kind of tournament, there's too many pretty boys, and we got some dogs on this team. We got dudes that fight and battle and don't just want to score points, but want to get stops, want to rebound, want to get on the floor. I mean, dude got on the floor right there at the end of the game. He's got a professional season coming up and could easily have thought about, I don't want to tweak anything, but dude wants to win.
You guys figured out something with this Eagle mending. I mean, I'm not going to say you're not playing hard for the first 30-some minutes or whatever, but when you guys get into that situation, it just looks different. You guys are selling out like Zach on the floor. Has this team figured something out in 3 games how to play this Eagle mending?
I think somewhat. We know that obviously there's a target score, so we have to get stops. That's the main thing. We feel like we can score. Not every time, but we can get a pretty good look almost every time. So if we get a certain amount of stops in a row, then we feel like that we have a good chance to go ahead and win the game. And that's kind of what our focus is to get as many stops in a row as possible. And then eventually that shot will go down, or we'll get on an offensive run to be able to close it out.
When you're playing to a does it take you back to a game at the rec center or on the playground or something where next basketball? I mean, it just looks like that.
Of course. Growing up as a kid, everybody plays 21. So everybody got raced to 21. And this Elam thing, you got to win, you go up 8. So you just got to fight. There's no time. You just got to be patient. You got to make the right passes, take the right shots, and then just see what happens. It starts with all defense, though.
Conner, how would you kind of describe the difference between, just the first 36 minutes and when it gets to Elam ending, just the difference in possessions and intensity and stuff like that?
Obviously, every possession during the game is important, but when it comes down to the Elam ending, it's extremely important. One bad turnover can lead to a layup, and that can be the game. So taking care of the ball is extremely important in that situation. Trying to get open looks, and then, like I said, just getting as many stops in a row as you can. We have wonderful defenders on this team, obviously. Zach, Tyrus, Marcus, Rashard, those are all really great defenders. And so they can switch pretty much whenever, and we kind of figure that out, I think.
Zach, you went with Clevin kind of late there, and he gave you a boost right at the start of the Eagle inning. What was the thinking in having him out there?
Big time credit to JR, Ron, Garrett. They do such a good job of helping me manage the game. I mean, it's not like Zach's the head coach, and then we got some other guys. Like, we really do it collectively. Everybody has an equal voice in this. They're so intelligent. I think we just saw that they had finally gone a little small, and we had an opportunity to put 4 guards out there on the floor. And Clevin, you just can't say enough about how high of an IQ he has. He's a true professional. He plays in, the best leagues in the world, and it shows in his game. He makes the right decisions. He makes the right plays. With probably a minute left before the fourth, I looked at him and, they got a guy that's just bully driving us and we weren't able to stop it. And I looked at him and said, hey, you got to take one at some point. You got to take one in the chest, and nodded his head. And I knew he heard the message, and that doesn't give me any credit because he puts his body on the line, but it just shows his IQ, making a huge play in a huge moment. We've had about 3 charges in the game, and finally we turn the tide and make one. And it's just invaluable what he gives to our team. And when you can put a guy like that out on the floor, it's unbelievable. And credit him for playing. I mean, he had a baby last week, his wife did, and he just loves this program and he loves basketball and wants to be around.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Glove.
Zach,
Yeah.
you got a lot of days now until the next game. Discuss how you break it now, what the guys are going to do.
Well, I know I got to do some grad school homework. I've already had to call one of my professors and ask for an extension. But now these guys, they need a break. They need to go home and rest for a second, and then we'll regroup and, get things ready. But just still high off of this and not even really thinking about getting to Dayton yet, but just trying to enjoy it with these guys.
I think that's it for you guys. You're talking about having played 3 games in 6 days in a while now. They have 10 off essentially. Is that big for you guys? You prefer that rather than kind of going, we're hot right now, we want to keep it rolling?
I think it'll be important to have a couple of days off. I mean, maybe not 11 or whatever, but to have a couple of days off to kind of reset, kind of get the mind reset after these high wins, and kind of get recovered and getting the body feeling back to normal.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. See you in 2022.
Anybody else?
I'm just thinking of picking some podcast. Okay, yeah, do it.